Oh, what happened when I died? A little precursor to that. When I was younger, um, I don't know if this is true or not, even in right memory. Like, I think I said to my mum, she like, it didn't happen, but I don't know. But like, I've always remembered that like I had a little black cat and we are coming home one night or something, and it fell out of the tree as we are pulling in the driveway, and my stepdad ran it over, and I was like, why did I have to watch that? Like, and how I like, why was my like cat outside? Because it escaped for one. Why was it in the tree? Why did it happen to fall out of the tree at the same time as we're driving in it? Let alone happen to hit it, let alone happen to kill it, let alone in front of me, let alone like. And I remember like that night or the next night, like being that angry, looking up, God, and being like, why? I'm gonna punish you for that, when I die, because I'm going to heaven, I'm gonna punish you for that. So I told that story to myself when I'm angry, throughout my life, in your little mental boxes you go into, like it's like, I can't wait till I get up there. Anyway, home invasion, ended up dying, whatever. I was on the floor making jokes as the ambulance was there, could feel myself going all cold. I knew I was dying. You can feel it, which is why things are different this time as well, because it's a prolonged period, so it's different. But so I was making jokes. I think the last thing I remember saying was like, I headbutt tomahawks. It's what I do. Like, the nurse laughed and the friend laughed and like giggled. Like, it's not funny. Stop making jokes. And that's what I do. Humor, make jokes. And then all of a sudden, I was getting laughed at. Like, I couldn't. Like, I could see everything, but there was nothing. It wasn't dark or it wasn't light. Like it was not like I could hear either, like voices or even hear. Like it's like commonly like I made a video before, I suppose. So uh, same kind of thing as that, where it's like internal monologue. More so, I suppose, is the best way to actually put it. Would be it's like it was like internal monologue, but there was a lot like they're all laughing like at me, and they're like what are you going to do, or like something like you're going to do it, or there's like heaps of it, like all laughing and like all saying the same kind of things, or and I'm like, what, like what, and like they, you waited this whole time, like so how, what are you gonna do? And I'm like, what's so I thought I was just like I could remember, and I'm like, I'm dreaming, just wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, and I like couldn't wake up, and I'm like, okay, what's going on here? Now I've had these kind of dreams my whole life, and the lack of sleep, and that's because as soon as I go to sleep, I'm dreaming, and I can't get out of them half the time. Like when I was younger, I could control them and all that stuff. Like as I got past like my mental health problems after a teenager or whatever, I was just always in my dreams. Like I go to sleep, I'm dreaming. I wake up and I'm like, okay, great. Like tired all the time because I just don't get rest. My brain's going. So I'm like, I'm dreaming. They're like, you're not dreaming, dude. You're dead. Like, and you said when you get up here, you're gonna get us back. Like, went from this anger to like, laughing again, and they're all like, what's he gonna do? What's he gonna do? Like, it says what I was saying about internal monologue in the other video. Like, internal monologue, God, hey, fucking, you watch Westworld, it does pretty well to explain like that kind of thing in a way that kind of makes sense to me. And that's what I was trying to say in the other, my rant video and the AI video. Like, but then I'm like, what the fuck are you? What is this shit? Like, because wake up, wake up! I'm like screaming, like to myself. And they're like, you got no arms. how are you going to bash us? And I'm like, huh? And then they're like, you can't yell at us. So what are you going to do? What are you going to do? How are you going to get us back? And that's about like the majority of like what I remember, like just absolutely lucidly, like it was like a dream but not, and like a real I was still awake, like I was. And then there's like what, and said it for ages since I was there for ages, but like over the time I've like kind of you know my time thing, it's, oh, time with me is different than other people. Uh, Now I know why, obviously. But I'd say I was there for like what felt like 4 months at least. Like talk, I don't talking, being, and hearing all these things. And like I've said, people can go back through Facebook posts I've made over the past since I come back. Like I said things like this. Like I've told people repetitively that I only had a certain time here because they told me that, and to enjoy it, and that it was going to be way, way harder to die. Like and I'd be rewarded way better than I was last time, which was because when I come back, I'm like, oh, I got the greatest story in the world. I died, tomahawking. And these guys are huge and bikies, blah blah blah, blah. But it was cool. It was great. Like now that I'm sitting here facing this again, it's like I get it now. What So it's like I'm having to suffer daily with that same cold, I know I'm dying feeling, and I'm having to sit there, like I've said in another video, the first video, watch everyone that loves me, like crying every day, like hoping that something's going to change. Like last time it was easy, I just died. Like I didn't have to make all these videos, didn't have to do anything, didn't go mental. I was making jokes, like. Then I seen all this shit that was been a joke for the last 8 years. Joke and me think, because as soon as this happened, I'm like, well, cool. What? Like, I get it now. It makes sense. They said I'd be rewarded better, and all the experiences and the memories that I wouldn't have got in the last 9 years, like watching my three youngest kids, like grow up. They're 11, 10, 9, or whatever. Like, I wouldn't have got that at all. So, like, yeah, it was worth it. It was worth it to come back. And even though this is like terror, but worse than anything, that's why I'm recording these videos to, like, it's been worth it again. So I struggle to believe. Now we're on to the God bit. After my whole life, and what's coming on to 2 deaths. So I just don't understand how this hasn't got like 16,000 views on it already. People waiting for like this kind of stuff. Like I don't get it. I don't understand. There's something else. Well, I don't give a fuck what anyone wants to say, and I've seen it. And they told me all this shit was going to happen. I've literally posted it. Everybody, it's fucking everywhere. I've said all this shit like ever since I died, and I'm going through exactly what I said. So whatever's up there waiting for me, I'll see you all when you get there, because